Dimash Kudaibergen is a name that usually brings one thing to mind, that impossible six-octave voice. But as we move through 2026, the story is changing. The man who has spent a decade shattering vocal records is now pivoting into a role that might be even more ambitious. He's no longer just the vocal miracle on stage. He's officially stepped into the shoes of a global producer and cultural mentor. If you've been following The Stranger lately, you know that this isn't just about high notes anymore. It's about a massive legacy project that's taking over screens across the globe. The big headline for early 2026 is Voice Beyond Horizon. This isn't just another reality show or a simple documentary. It is Dimash's official debut as an executive producer, and honestly, it's a full-circle moment that has his dears feeling pretty emotional. The project is a collaboration with Hunan TV and Mango TV, the very same platforms that launched Dimash into the stratosphere back in 2017 during The Singer. But this time, Dimash isn't the contestant. He's the architect. He has handpicked 8 professional vocalists from all over the world.
On April 11th, 2026, something remarkable happened in Macau, an event that many fans are already calling a brand new chapter in Dimash's career. For the first time, he stepped into the spotlight not only as a performer, but also as a producer of an international project. And by the end of the night, people couldn't stop talking about it. That moment came later, when the award winners were announced. As names were called one by one, the audience listened carefully. Then suddenly, Dimash Kudaibergen's name echoed through the arena once again. He walked back onto the stage. But this time, not as a performer, as a producer. For the first time in China, Dimash received a major award, recognizing his work behind the scenes. He was honored with the Weibo Macau China Award for annual contribution to international cultural exchange. The recognition was connected to his international project, Voice Beyond Horizon. And for many observers, it marked a significant turning point in his career. For years, the world had known Dimash primarily as an extraordinary vocalist. Now, he was also being recognized as a creator, visionary, and producer of international cultural projects.
Places like Italy, China, Serbia, and Malaysia, and brought them to his homeland to showcase that music truly has no borders. The scale of this thing is wild. We're talking about 22 days of filming, 7,000 kilometers traveled, and a production that looks more like a cinematic travelogue than a talent show. Dimash has been taking these artists through the historical ruins of Turkestan, the Caspian shores of Aktau, and the futuristic skyline of Astana. In the premiere episode, he basically reminded everyone why he's the boss. He performed a new version of his original song Fire, but with a massive twist. He added a high-speed Kazakh rap segment that sent the internet into a total meltdown. It's clear that while he's mentoring the next generation, he hasn't lost an ounce of that competitive fire that made us fall in love with him in the first place. This transition into producing is a huge step for Dimash's career. For years, fans have wondered how he would evolve once the novelty of his range became the norm. By taking on a role that focuses on the development of other artists, he is effectively becoming a bridge between the East and the West. He's mentioned in recent press tours that his goal isn't just to find great singers, but to find people who can tell a story through their culture, much like he does for Kazakhstan. This sense of cultural diplomacy is becoming the hallmark of his work in 2026. But let's be real, even with a massive TV show and a world tour, there's one thing everyone is always whispering about: his personal life.
To April 11th, 2026, the legendary Venetian Macau Arena became the center of attention once again. This was the stage for Weibo Gala 2026, one of the biggest cultural events of the year. Actors, musicians, media personalities, industry leaders, some of the biggest names in entertainment gathered under one roof. The red carpet was packed with cameras. Millions of viewers tuned in online. The atmosphere felt every bit as grand as a major international awards show. But among all the stars in attendance, one arrival generated a particularly strong reaction: Dimash Kudaibergen. As soon as he appeared on the red carpet, fans erupted with cheers and applause. After spending significant time away from Chinese public events, this reunion felt especially emotional, and for many fans, it was one of the highlights of the entire evening. Another memorable moment came when Dimash appeared alongside Macau's official mascot, Mai Mai. Photos and videos quickly spread across social media. For many viewers, the moment reflected the spirit of the event itself, bringing together culture, tourism, and art through international exchange.
For a guy who sings almost exclusively about soul-shattering love and eternal devotion, Dimash is notoriously private. As of March 2026, he is still playing his cards extremely close to his chest. There is no official confirmation of a romantic partner. If you look at his interviews lately, especially the ones he gave before his London and Riga shows, he's very consistent. He calls his family his fortress and refers to his fans, the deers, as his primary source of love. That hasn't stopped the rumor mill, though. The latest buzz usually starts whenever he collaborates with a female artist. Recently, fans have been hyper-analyzing his interactions with Italian singer Giulia Falcone, who is one of the standout contestants on Voice Beyond Horizon. While the shipping on TikTok and Weibo is intense, all signs point to it being a strictly professional mentorship. Then there are the sightings. The grainy photos of him at his family's restaurant, Dai Di Dao, with various guests. Usually, these turn out to be business meetings or family dinners, but the mystery is clearly part of the Dimash brand at this point. He's one of the few global stars who has managed to keep his private life actually private, which is almost as impressive as hitting a D8. Speaking of impressive, we have to talk about what's coming next in April. If you thought his solo shows were big, wait until you see the Domingo Hauser Dimash event in Budapest. This is a collaboration that literally feels like a fever dream for music lovers.
Later, Dimash shared how much he had missed his Chinese fans. He also spoke warmly about Macau, describing it as a place whose beauty and atmosphere are difficult to put into words, a city that has to be experienced to be truly understood. But the biggest moment of the night was still ahead. The lights dimmed, the audience grew quiet, and then the opening notes of fire filled the arena. Dimash stepped onto the stage, and instantly, it became clear this wouldn't be an ordinary performance. Powerful vocals, raw emotion, a captivating stage presence. The crowd was completely locked in. Then came the surprise. Midway through the song, Dimash transitioned into a rap verse in Kazakh. For a brief moment, the arena seemed frozen in anticipation. Then, the audience erupted. The reaction was immediate. For many fans, it became one of the most memorable moments of the entire gala, because this wasn't just a performance. It was a celebration of culture, of language, of identity, and a reminder that music can connect people far beyond borders.
On April 18, 2026, at the MVM Dome, Dimash will share the stage with the legendary Placido Domingo and the world-renowned cellist Hauser. This isn't just three guys taking turns singing. It's a world premiere production with custom arrangements designed to blend opera, classical crossover, and Dimash's epic pop style into one massive symphony. It's a huge statement for Dimash. Standing shoulder to shoulder with a living legend like Domingo and a modern icon like Hauser proves he's not just a pop star, but a serious force in the world of high art. The preparation for Budapest has been intense. We've seen snippets of rehearsals where Dimash is working with the symphony orchestra to ensure his signature whistle notes blend seamlessly with Hauser's cello. This isn't just a concert, it's a validation of his place in the classical world. For years, critics debated whether he belonged in the pop world or the operatic one.
Voice Beyond Horizon is much more than a music program. At its core, the project aims to bring together different cultures, languages, and musical traditions through the universal language of art. Artists from various countries participate in the initiative. Its mission is simple but powerful, building connections through creativity. That's why this award carried such special meaning. It wasn't only recognition of Dimash's musical talent, it was recognition of his contribution to international cultural dialogue. After the ceremony, Dimash thanked both his team and his supporters. In a message shared on social media, he wrote, "One person cannot win a battle alone." With those words, he emphasized that this achievement belonged to everyone involved in the project, and perhaps that's one of the reasons fans admire him so deeply, not only because of his talent, but because of his humility. Today, Dimash Kudaibergen represents far more than extraordinary vocals. He continues to represent Kazakhstan on the global stage, connecting cultures, bringing people together through music, and inspiring millions around the world.
In 2026, Dimash is answering that by saying, why not both? And it's not just the big stages. Dimash has been making headlines at home for his heart too. When Kazakh figure skater Mikhail Shidorov won gold at the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics, Dimash was the first to step up. Shidorov had performed his routine to Dimash's vocals, and the singer was so moved by the performance that he publicly promised the athlete a brand new car, a Hyundai Palisade, to celebrate the historic win. He fulfilled that promise just a few days ago, hand-delivering the keys in Astana. It's those kinds of gestures that keep the Kazakh people and his global fan base so fiercely loyal to him. He's using his success to lift others up, whether it's an Olympic athlete or a young singer from Serbia looking for a break. Musically, 2026 has been a year of refinement. We've had the release of Gashik TQ, which continues to dominate the charts in Kazakhstan and China. This track, along with his earlier 2025 collaboration with Walter Afanasiev on Love's Not Over Yet, shows a more mature Dimash. He's moving away from just high-note hunting and focusing more on cinematic arrangements that tell a complete, emotional story. There are even whispers that he might be working on a full-length studio album that would compile these cinematic-era tracks, something fans have been begging for since the ID album. If you look at his social media presence lately, he's also becoming much more comfortable in his own skin. He's posting more behind-the-scenes content from the set of Voice Beyond Horizon, showing a funnier, more relaxed side of his personality. We're seeing him joke with the contestants, eat street food in Turkestan, and show off his skills on the Dombra. This accessibility is a far cry from the untouchable Prince of Kazakhstan image he had a few years ago. It seems like 2026 is the year he's decided to let the world in just a little bit more, even while keeping his romantic life a total secret. So, where does that leave us? As we move further into 2026, Dimash is essentially becoming a mogul. He's got the #1 show on Mango TV, he's collaborating with legends in Budapest, and he's continuing to drop new music that pushes the boundaries of what a singer is supposed to do. The rumors about his love life will probably never go away. It's just the price of being that talented and that mysterious. But for Dimash, it seems the work is the priority. He is building a bridge between the Great Silk Road and the rest of the world, and he's doing it with a level of class that you just don't see very often anymore. He's proving that you don't need a public scandal or a high-profile breakup to stay relevant. You just need a vision that goes beyond the horizon. Whether he's standing in the steppe wind of Kazakhstan or under the bright lights of a European arena, Dimash is in total control of his narrative. He is a man who knows exactly who he is, where he came from, and most importantly, where he is taking the music next. And honestly, the stranger has never looked more at home. As the world watches the final episodes of Voice Beyond Horizon and counts down the days to the Budapest premiere, one thing is certain. Dimash Kudaibergen is no longer a potential star. He is a permanent fixture in the global cultural landscape. He is the mentor to the next generation, the peer of the legends, and the mystery that keeps us all watching. 2026 is officially the year of Dimash, and we are just living in it. The rumors will continue, the shipping will never stop, and the fans will keep searching for clues in his lyrics. But for Dimash, the answer has always been the same. If you want to know his heart, listen to the music. Everything else is just noise beyond the horizon. This journey from Aktobe to the MVM Dome in Budapest is more than a career trajectory. It's a testament to the power of staying true to one's roots while embracing the world. Dimash has never tried to be a Western artist or a Chinese artist. He has always been a Kazakh artist who happens to belong to the world. That authenticity is why, in 2026, he isn't just a singer, he's an institution in his own right. Whether he's giving away cars to champions or giving a voice to the voiceless through his production projects, he remains the most fascinating enigma in modern music.